Welcome back. If you are watching this video, it could mean only one thing. I was able to write code our front end in Jac, which is pretty amazing considering the fact that Jac-Lang is still a new programming language. Powerful, but new. And if you watched the last video, we already did the unglamorous groundwork, wiring up the front end, talking to the back end, making sure the data actually flowed. And now we are about to step into the part which where every developer secretly cares about, the most, making it look and feel good. So in this episode, I'll be vibe coding the entire theme and styling of our smart expense tracker app. And no pixel perfect Figma blueprint, no overthought design system up front, just a rough idea, solid constraints, and the courage to see where this is gonna go. So most of us don't do design for a living. We just want our apps to, look good, stop looking like sadness. So if you've ever built something that works but feels, kind of disappointing to look at, this episode is for you. So let's find out how Jac lets us bridge the gap between it runs to actually like, damn, this feels great. So here we are. And if you remember in our last video, like I mentioned, we did the groundwork for, connecting our backend to the front end. And we use this very special word called spawn, which calls the relevant API endpoint from the backend and connects it to our front end. So today, we are going to do the styling. Like, we added some comments last time around saying, basically just putting the style, the colors, we even put some comments here and so on. So today we are not going to go into this React, this JSX kind of parts, right? The front end, we are going to do the entire coding, the styling and all that by coding it. So I have made a simple prompt here, just about what I'll be telling the agent to do. So we will be creating a React front end where just giving some context to our agent on like users can add expenses manually, and can create expenses using natural language and so on. And I've also defined the design system based on my preference. So the primary color will be blue, and then there'll be a yellow accent to it, and also like the success and warning colors. Also, I've made a little mention of it. And yeah, the state management, some of the core features, what we would like our layout to look like, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead here and give a prompt asking it to build the front end in the app.jac file based on the requirement in this file. So I've added the frontend.md file as context. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the agent is working on it, and this is the file that we expect it to edit. So this CL block is basically our front end. So if you have forgotten, we have our backend and front end both in the same file, right? It might look a little cluttered. So right now we have about 700 odd lines, and don't worry, we have a total freedom to separate these into separate files, right? Like front end in one file and the backend in another file. For now, it's both in the same file. So depending on your application, you can architect it the way you like. So we are basically vibe coding to generate a functional, visually coherent baseline that's fast enough so that we can layer in our personality later, where when the app has some kind of substance. So right now we are focusing more on like the logic, what actually matters, right? Like how our data flows, what are the features that exist, and also how the user would be interacting with this app. So let's hope we can get to about maybe 75% there and see what we can do to make this app look even better from there. I'm going to fast forward this part. Let's see. So it looks like the agent has done the heavy lifting for us. So it has defined the styles, the button styles, the design colors, as well as how the cards will look like, the containers, the grids, and all that. Pretty comprehensive edit this. And okay, it's added some divs as well. So yeah, most of the code has been done. So we need to now do some testing. Let's see whether our front end looks actually great. Oh, it is also a little built with love using Jac-Client. That's cute. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to keep this and let's open the terminal. Okay. So we are going to run a Jac serve now. Jac. Okay, so it looks like there are some errors. Okay, there's a lot of errors actually. So there's about 9+ problems, and here it says 98 issues. Okay, so let's see what went wrong here. All right, so since we are vibe coding this, let's just copy this error and ask the agent to fix it straight away. So this looks an error with the JSX syntax, I believe. So yeah, JSX syntax error. So we need to use proper JSX syntax. Okay, so let's see if we can get this sorted out in one shot. So okay, so let's see if the errors have been resolved. Let's check serve one more time. And okay, it's taking a little longer. Great. Okay, so now the system seems to be working correctly. So now we can go over to our browser and check out our the local host, and see whether the front end has come out as beautifully as we defined it in our front end prompt. So let's go over there and have a look. We are, and as you can see, we have a beautiful UI for our smart expense tracker. So we have a dashboard. We can see the total expenses, the biggest category, be food, can be transport and whatnot. We'll also have a category breakdown. So currently we don't have any expenses recorded in our database yet. We are yet to do that. And we have 3 methods of adding our expenses, which is correct. We can either manually add it, or we can add it with a text, or else with an image. So and then again, we can also query our expenses once we have sufficient data in the system. We can also, gain insights, basically see what our spending trends are like, and so on. So we have this is a good place to start off. We have a basic front end, and we can later on add more animations, maybe add some much more beautiful UI, maybe from Shutcn or Material UI, and so on. So let's just test the system. There may be a few bugs here and there, but let's just go ahead and see. So let's say that we spent, say, $10, $10 at, say, Starbucks. $10 at Starbucks. Oops, this is the category. Okay. The merchant would be Starbucks, and here let's have it as food. And well, we can add the date here as well. Let's say we did it today, and add the expense. Okay, so looks like it might have been added, right? Let's go over to VS Code and check the console whether this expense was actually added or not. Okay, so here we are, and it's the latest logs. So there's no biggest amount and so on, but as you can see, there has been an expense that has been added. Currency has been taken as USD because we put our default currency as USD. We didn't really give the user the option to select the currency yet. The category has been detected as other. The date has been recorded. So there's a small issue here. So here we explicitly said that the category would be food, but looks like it has taken it as other. So this is our complete file, both the backend and front end contributing to this project. Maybe there are some issues. So okay, there's a currency problem here. So if we are creating a default settings node, I think in our settings node we are already defining the currency here. Maybe we can, this is not needed. Let me just erase that. Um, yeah, that's the settings node. Also, so maybe here is a problem. So this is our add expense walker, the one that we manually add an expense. We have a target category here, and if category.name is matching self.category name.upper. So what's happening is it is always coming into this block, which is why it is being defined as other. So I think the problem here is this category.name. I think this is the troublesome one. This dot upper. So let me just remove that. Default to other category if it's not found. So the category dot category type. Yeah, if it's not the target category. So here we are trying to get the target category here successfully. The dot upper is not needed, I believe, because this is anyway, it'll be in simple letters. I don't think this is going to be in capital. So because we have in our enums, we have defined it like this. So yeah, cool. Let's keep it like this for now. And also another problem I feel like what we're doing here is that we are creating multiple users. So every time we initialize the graph, this user node is being created. So maybe we can add some logic here to first of all check if there is an existing user available. So let me just add that logic as well. Okay, existing users. Yeah. All right. I think that should do it. Yes, and like I said, you can separate our backend and frontend into two separate files. So let's see how we can do that. As you can see, we have the cl keyword here, which indicates that this is relevant to our frontend. And what we can do is I'm going to remove this cl, and I'm going to cut this line. So let's create a new file. So code app.cl.jac, and yeah. So yeah, this file, it allows us to basically define our frontend without using the cl keyword. The cl.jac indicates the system that, look, this is our frontend point, and on the backend, yeah, we would just typically use the .jac format. So we can go ahead and copy the entire code which is wrapped inside the cl block. So let me go down. Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to just take this entire code to here, Control X, and let's put it over there. And we can save this file as well. And good. Okay. So yeah, let's remove this completely as well. And as you know, so the Jessica Lab engineers are updating the stack on a weekly basis. So it's always good to make sure that your libraries and your packages are up to a standard, up to date. So let's just update these requirements. Pip install here. -r requirements.txt. Yeah, we need to go back to the previous directory. Okay, pip install. Our requirements. Yes. Cool. Okay, so it's upgrading our packages. So once the requirements have been installed and upgraded, we can run a jac serve and make sure that it in fact is working, and we are not facing any issues at all. Right. So we have our updated libraries. Let's go into our expense tracker folder. App.jac. So if there are no errors, then you can go and we are good to go. And so it's still processing the app. Yep, it's working. So the front end and the back end both has been identified in this module. So it's important that we name our backend and front end with the same name so that the system knows what to associate it with the backend and front end files. And now in our next episode, let's go ahead and test this system end to end and clean up any bugs that we come across and make sure that we have a fully functional smart expense tracker. Great. So if you did enjoy this video, please let me know what you liked about it. If you have any clarifications you need to be sorted out, leave a comment and drop a like if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you've been watching my videos on how we are building this smart expense tracker using this powerful stack from JAVASCRIPT. Well, I think it's high time that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and also like this video and share it with your friends, whoever you think would benefit from learning how to create an AI application using the JAC language. So goodbye for now, and I'll see you around in our next video.